Welcome back, everyone. My name is Vince Burke, and I want to have a brief discussion about some of the additional unique capabilities of our NPM technology. Now, in previous videos, we've talked about collecting flow data, which is essentially a phone bill for your network, as well as collecting packet data, which is a very deep down analysis of what is happening in the protocols. And we've talked about SNMP data, which obviously allows us to look at the network devices themselves. However, Riverbed approaches its data collection in a unique way. The data we collect, we not just turn into analyzed graphs, but we store this in what we call a full fidelity format. Now, what I mean by full fidelity is, as we collect the packets, we write them to disk and we store them for later analysis if you so choose to. Similarly, flow data. The flow data is received by NetProfiler and we store it to disk in full fidelity format and store it for later analysis as well. Now, over the years we've discovered that many security operators have found this data to be very powerful in a digital forensic and incident response style process. There's been a compromise and we generally need to find out what happened, when it happened, what data was affected, and what have you. So let's take a brief look here at the network that I've drawn. I have a router, I have another router, I have the internet, I have some cloud resources. What we have over here is a very unhappy user. There is a repeated drop in VoIP phone calls. The pages on the web pages are not loading, and we need to do an analysis of why this is happening. Now, we might be collecting flow data on some of the links over here, perhaps on the links over here as well, in our NetProfiler product over here, which has a full fidelity database storing all the flows coming into here. The first thing I might do is I take an analysis of the flows on this link and perhaps the flows coming directly out of the computer of our unhappy user, which we shall name Alice. Alice is unhappy, and in analyzing the link, we notice that there is an enormous data transfer happening from Bob's computer out through the router in the internet, heading straight to a system in Azure. Now, what this is causing is a simple congestion scenario which causes Alice's transactions or her phone calls not to go through smoothly. Digging deeper, we want to take a good look at what Bob's system is doing. Now, the beauty of the full fidelity data in NetProfiler is it allows me to single out just this one system and do a root cause analysis. Now, what I will tell you is that in that analysis, we might discover things that Bob is doing on the network as well. What we actually find by analyzing the traffic is that Bob is also making a tiny little connection out on the internet to a system in AWS. This connection is only happening once in a while. But it is very suspicious because the timing of it seems to indicate that it is very regular, right? This could potentially be a command and control, someone from the outside world controlling Bob's computer. Now, because we have the flow data of all the various interfaces, we can actually now go in and do a broader search. Who else is talking to the attacker in AWS? As we make a pivot, we identify two more systems on the network that are having similar communications on a regular basis with this system in AWS. At this point, we're starting to get very worried, and I'd like to know what is inside those communications. Luckily, I am recording full fidelity packet data from my uplink in my app response appliance. Here's my database. From NetProfiler, I can make a query directly to my app response appliance and ask just for the packets hitting host A coming out of my entire network and analyze those to see what specifically is in there and discover whether or not I am dealing with a compromise or zombie control of hosts on my network. So This is an example of how using the unique full fidelity storage features of App Response and NetProfiler, I move from just a simple root cause analysis investigation into a full-fledged cybersecurity incident response investigation where all the data is available for me to determine how long ago the compromise happened, who is affected, how severe it is, and what I need to do to recover from that. Thank you for watching.